On December 26 in the city of Chengdu, China, a new generation, stealthy combat aircraft made by Chengdu Aerospace Corporation (CAC) had its maiden flight. Images and videos emerged in near real time, showing the highly swept flying wing aircraft accompanied by a J-20's twin-seat chaseplane. This aircraft generated significant furor on defense tracking internet and news sites, with questions surrounding its role, capability, maturity, and more. For the community of People's Liberation Army (PLA) watchers, this aircraft was not unexpected. I have published articles on Chinese next-generation fighter efforts over the last half-decade. Indicators over the last year and a half strongly suggested a new generation/sixth-generation air-to-air combat aircraft would emerge rather soon, and these hints accelerated over the past 4 months, with increasing details on the type of platform to expect. The PLA watching community's working designation of this new CAC aircraft is the J-36. The lead-up to the J-36's emergence holds uncanny similarities to the emergence of the J-20, nearly 14 years ago to the day, showing that history does indeed rhyme. Both were preceded by significant periods of credible rumors and increasingly granular predictions by the Chinese-language PLA watching community, but both aircraft emerged somewhat unexpectedly for individuals not up to date with the PLA watching side of affairs. Some have remarked that the date for the J-36's maiden flight might seek to commemorate the December 26th birthday of Mao Zedong, the founder of the People's Republic of China. Milestones of other major projects such as the SAC jet, the launch of the 076 catapult amphibious assault ship, the first flight of the new KJ-3000 AEW&C aircraft have occurred around the same time, but this may simply be a coincidence as they did not all occur on the exact date of December 26. At present, there has been no official Chinese state media or Ministry of Defense acknowledgement of this aircraft, and thus no official boasting or flaunting of the aircraft, its sophistication, or role. The images and videos making the rounds on social media were captured by individuals on the ground in Chengdu, which is a major metropolitan city where the CAC factory is located. There are strong reasons to believe that the J-36 was preceded by multiple secretive flying demonstrators in the past, of which one possibly may have been captured by satellite imagery. Some have compared the flight of the J-36 with U.S. Air Force demonstrators secretly flown in the past for next-generation air dominance and GAD. However, the validity of this comparison would depend on how the J-36 and the various U.S. Air Force and GAD demonstrators relate to their respective final production models. With no official information from the Chinese government, the J-36's role is under debate. Some analysts have strongly suggested the aircraft is a bomber aircraft, or a fighter-bomber aircraft with only a secondary air-to-air role. These have been mostly informed by reporting of the JHXX fighter-bomber concept which I have documented before, and the aircraft's size and planform. These are not unreasonable estimates in isolation, but somewhat pale in the face of credible indicators from the PLA watching grapevine, as well as the emerging trends of aerial combat. Preliminary estimates of the J-36 suggest a length of around 22 meters and a wingspan of around 20 meters, though some have suggested a length as great as 26 meters. It features a low observable, double delta tailless flying wing platform, with a rather voluminous and blended fuselage. A canopy is present, with some unconfirmed rumors that it may feature a two-pilot cockpit with side-by-side seating. There are two side air intakes of a carrot design, and also a dorsal air intake of unclear geometry. The aircraft is powered by a unique 3-engine configuration, presumably fed by one intake each, and imagery thus far seems to indicate a low observable exhaust design, possibly reminiscent of that of YF-23. Some have suggested that two lateral engines may possess thrust vector control (TVC). A large central internal weapons bay IWB is visible, which may be long enough to accommodate the very long-range PL-17 air-to-air missile, though it is unknown if the depth is sufficient to accommodate a rotary launcher. There are two suspected smaller side IWBs as well, which look to rival the J-20's primary IWB in length. This is a large aircraft, with some estimates of its maximum takeoff weight exceeding 50 tons. Dual-wheel main landing gear is testament to its mass. However, substantial control surfaces on the aircraft's trailing edge are also visible, including split flap rudders on the outboard wing positions, and may indicate a complex and ambitious flight control regime, particularly if the engines also possess TVC. Naturally, there are far more unknown characteristics at this stage. The identity of its current power plants is unclear, with some suggesting either 3WS-10 variants or 3WS-15 variants. At this stage there are no credible indicators to believe any of the engines are different or intended to operate in a separate flight regime from the others, such as a ramjet. The full intended weapons suite, sensor fit, avionics, networking, electronic warfare EW, materials, and power generation are all unknown as well, and will likely remain so for many decades into the future. Overall, this appears to be a large airframe optimized for signature reduction, range, internal volume, and high altitude as well as high-speed performance, with the ability to maneuver at higher speed regimes, but perhaps not seeking to optimize maneuvering in subsonic speeds. It is unlikely this aircraft will perform post-stall maneuvers like Pugachev's Cobra or Falling Leaf at an airshow during its lifetime. Consensus on the Chinese language grapevine that predicted this aircraft, as well as a variety of other past projects, including the J-20, J-35A, J-15T, 002 and 003 aircraft carriers, 075 and 076 amphibious assault ships, among many others, describe it as the intended next-generation air superiority aircraft for the PLA. Some papers on the nature of future air combat have been published by senior aerospace engineers at CAC, though they are predictably general in scope and do not reveal specific or sensitive information in relation to the J-36. I have documented previous semi-official indicators for CAC's next-generation, sixth-generation efforts in earlier articles. The PLA watching community has been marginally more forthcoming on the J-30SAXS role. A summary of credible descriptors indicates that relative to existing fifth-generation aircraft including the J-20, this aircraft is intended to possess significantly greater combat radius, superior and omnidirectional signature reduction, significantly greater power generation with sensor and EW capabilities. It will possess a greater IWB as well. Furthermore, the aircraft is expected to excel and operate in a system of systems manner alongside friendly unmanned platforms, unmanned combat air vehicles or loyal wingmen, from high-end to more attritable systems as well as manned aircraft. The J-36 is believed to possess much enhanced command and networking capabilities.